What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another live stream. If you have not joined us for any of our live streams, we go live Monday through Friday right before the market opens. So we have about 13 minutes before the market opens. I'm going to go ahead and start dedicating time to identifying potential. I want to thank all the members for that are coming from TechBud Solutions that are joining us live. If you guys don't know what TechBud Solutions is, the link is down in the description. It says Facebook group TechBud Solutions. Feel free to join. We're a little bit over now, 37,000 members worldwide, and it's simply a free platform where people get to share best practices, share mistakes, an effort to promote overall group growth. Can't thank you guys enough for your time, and let's go ahead and do this thing. So let's go and start. As you guys could see, based on the title of this video, I am focusing on Jnug. If you guys, I forgot to show you. I'm sure you guys saw on the Facebook group. I know it was pretty late, so for those in the East Coast, probably did not see this because it was pretty late over there. But Jnug was one of the top 5 stocks that I had in my watch list for tomorrow, which is today. And I hope that it helped some of you guys out. So simply what I called out was that Jnug, like we've known, had a support at $16. Although yesterday, although yesterday it did break below $16. The reason that I saw so much potential is if we do a 180-day analysis and we start looking at where usually Jnug bounces, again, trying to identify a solid support, $16 is not a bad price point. Obviously, it has gone below, even below 15, but realistically, based on the times that it hits 16 once, twice, it holds above 16, 3 times, 4, 5, and then, we thought 7 or 6, but pretty much it bounced. Now that's what we wanted to see. So therefore now, because we identified the bounce, just like we did successfully with JDST, which was the inverse ETF, to keep it plain and simple, we identified that 16 is still a solid support. And instead of cutting losses when it breaks right below 16, an approach that I take when it comes down to trading Jnug or gold-based ETFs, that although 16 is the support and it does break below it, I can give it a 1% potential for a stop loss. Therefore, it gives me a better understanding that, I can give it some cushion. Understanding that, 16, it's not going to just hold exactly at 16. Eventually, it will be dropping, and I can give it some cushion. So whatever the max loss you want to give it for this gold-based ETF, if it's 1 or 2%, but just know that it is hitting a resistance right now at 1720. What I'm going to be looking for is based on, where is it? Oh, what is it? Let's see. Let's do a 5-day analysis. I'm going to be waiting for the pullback. So obviously that's going to be no surprise. We could see that it bounced here at 16. As you can see, the double EMA lines bouncing at 16, which is good. But this is what I wanted to see. Where it usually peaked out at when it bounced here at $16, it bounced and hit a resistance at 1640. If you could see, that was trying to be an old support, which is going to be a new resistance. Therefore, now because we broke above it, I'm going to be waiting for the pullback. I don't actually know 100% if it's going to hit back down to 1640, but it would be very, very nice to be able to catch it at the bottom of the margin. We identified 1720 as the resistance. Therefore, if we can come all the way back down to 1640 and then it starts to bounce, it can give us, an entry from let's say 1650 to, again, 1720, and it's a 4% profit margin. I think that's pretty decent for a day trade, especially trading a gold-based ETF. So just wanted to shout that out. I'm going to set my alert, so I'm going to right-click here on the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform for those that are going to be asking me what stock or what platform am I using, since I get one of those questions in every single one of my videos, and you guys do an amazing job making sure that individual knows, sometimes a little bit more aggressive than needed, but you guys definitely let them know. So let's go ahead and move on. AMD dropping below $13, which was the support. I called out the support at $13. Just because we call it out doesn't mean that it's going to bounce 100%. The reason we called out the support at $13 was based on previous trends. It was bouncing at $13. It did go, it was bouncing at $13 and holding above $13. Therefore, validated that support during pre-market hours. For those that held overnight, if you thought that AMD was going to be a day trade, but it's on nothing but a downward trend, you should have probably not held this specific stock overnight. But it did end up getting really close to the support. It held during aftermarket hours above $13. but then right during pre-market hours, it broke that support, and then it went to lows of $12.70. It looks like it's holding pretty well, and it looks like now it's starting trying. It's going to start to try to bounce, but the margin from $12.70 to $13 is very small. 2.38. It's actually a little bit more than I expected, so that's a good sign. And yeah, so I mean, this one definitely still has potential as long as it bounces and starts to trend upward. The reason I say that is if we do a 5-day analysis based on where it stands right now and based on where it was yesterday, simply if we can get, realistically even where it was within 1 day, that's about almost 6% potential for profit from, top to bottom. Understanding that, is it realistic that it's going to move all the way from where it is right now all the way to the top? Not 100%. Something that AMD is very famous for is for their pullbacks during market open. So wait for the pullback, wait for the bounce, and if it starts to trend upwards, set up a plan that will lead to your success. So, ooh. Nice, it finally pushed above $1. Okay. It looks like now it's just trying to hold above $1. So this might be a good one for those momentum traders. Nice drop. I don't trade stocks less than $1. Snap still on its downward trend from its resistance, guys. Consistently just on a downward trend. Wow. Okay. CMP. CMP. It looks like it's trying to hold above $4.40, which is nice. Looks like RAD is now bouncing again. So it bounced at 234. Understand that it had a resistance at 240 and the highs of like about 246 to 247. JDST is the one that's on a downward trend, just because this is the inverse ETF as of Jnug. And let's go ahead and continue moving on. Course is on a downward trend from its peak. Just like we called it out, this one's most likely going to continue bleeding back down based on the overhype or, just too much demand. And no matter what, like regardless of the earning call, I just think it's going to slowly start to staircase down. Again, but if you see potential, then you trade it. I think PLUG has a pretty solid support at 210. I think this could be a good potential buy point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alerts here. If it goes below 210, then obviously that support is broken. But it looks like it had a slight resistance at 215. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to be alerted when it goes above 215. Okay, so this one's still holding. I think I've called it out for the past 2 days. AAOI, a support at 71, a resistance at 75. If you guys could see, I had a margin there before. It dropped below that support and then built a new margin from around like 64 to 70. But then now it's trying to hold and bounce again around from 70 to 75. Just know that it did have that margin yesterday from top to bottom. So it is a potential, margin as well. But if it breaks below the support, then we can keep bleeding back down here. So make sure you cut losses quickly. At least that's something that I would do. But other than that, I still think this one would have potential. SQ, wow. Okay, well, I like this one. I think if we can catch it at a pretty low point, just like yesterday, it bounced at about $25.50. New resistance at about 26, and it's not holding very well above 26, but it hit highs of about 26.30 yesterday. So it looks like it's trying to bounce, if you guys could see that, during pre-market hours. So that could be a good sign. It looks like it's trying to hold above 25.60, which is good, but yesterday it did go below 25.60 to lows of a little bit below 25.50. Now, my buddy called this one out and told me about it. So he called out the support here at 1760. It's bounced there once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and it's on an upward trend. I think it's actually most likely going to see a little bit of a pullback. And again, not hopefully bounce, but if it does bounce, then we can get in at a good buy point and then sell within the margin of about 19. And that could be all done within a day trade, as it's been able to do that. Yesterday, not the day before, but then the day prior to that as well, and then it moved down to that margin. So yeah, and that's pretty huge margin. So bad, it's pretty low. Support at 40. Do you guys see that double bottom? 1, 2. Again, I don't trade stocks that are less than $1, but that's interesting. This one, ECYT, is still holding above 140. That's huge. Even after its earnings report, it missed it's missed its expected. I guess it has no volume. We'll see how it plays out today. Rip. Upward trend. I like that one. Yeah, that's a big drop. Where's my save at? What the heck? We still are holding above 38, so that's good. And then a resistance at 38.60, which I don't like, but you know, I have to deal with. So it has this margin, and it looks like it's closer to the support. That's a very small margin, so it might not be worth it. And then the last one is MEET. Still dropping $3.72, $3.90. RSI is indicating that it's more on the oversold side, but it's not actually picking up. So don't really know what to say about this one. It's still not experiencing or seeing any signs of upward momentum. So we have about 30 seconds left. Let's go ahead and recap. Do you guys have any suggestions that you guys would like me to talk about? Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and recap on these stocks. So now Jnug is not, the support is still, I mean, overall is still at 16, but it's trading above 17. So now the buy point that I'm going to be waiting for is not $16 flat, but $16.40 as long as it bounces at that support. Save is still holding above $38, so I still think that's a solid support. GUSH at 17.60, waiting for the pullback. MEET still not seeing any good signs. And then AMD broke the support at $13. It's now at $12.70. And two of my alerts just went off. AMD below $13. Okay, let's go ahead and do this thing, guys. Again, when it comes down to trading, you want to make sure you follow 3 rules. You never trade based on anyone else's opinion. You only invest in stocks that you personally see value in and that you can manage, and then that you know where you're buying, where you're selling, and where you're cutting your losses. Make sure that you don't force your trades, and make sure that you have a plan. I can't stress that enough. An entry, exit, and a stop loss. Man, all these alerts, whoa. Let me start sharing my screen. I know you guys still want to see me. Well, good morning, guys. Again, for all those that are joining us, and thank you guys for taking time out of your day to making this happen. So, or what I called out actually on MEET was actually the support at $3.90, but it actually broke below that support, and it looks like it's bouncing now at 380 or 382. So now it's gapping back up, so that's good for that. So AMD, again, for its very famous pullback, and it's already gapping back up. So, man, Siri, mark below, AMD, ODP, dang. Okay, well, AMD is coming back strong with its pullback at $12.50, right, pushing right through that resistance at $12.70. And can it hold? Yep, pushing right through. So that's good for that. So that was a quick little bounce. So from 12.52, again, we call out the pullbacks every single time. It's already up 1.81% from its initial bounce. Understand that that is a resistance at 12.80, and look at that pullback. Boom. Dang. It feels like it's following my cursor. Can it pull back anymore? Nope. And there we go. Starting to bounce again. Again, so usually it had a bounce at 12.70. So, I mean, that's in a sense not even a good, not a bad point. But I'm going to put my alert when it goes below $17 for Jnug. And if it goes below $17 for Jnug, it's most likely going to continue trending down. So to most hopefully the support. So I have my alert set on that. Snapchat's still dropping. Oh, there we go. Jnug broke support. So for those that are up on Jnug, I mean, lock in profits and then buy low if you can. But that's up to you. PLUG, just like we called out, support at 210. Doesn't mean that it's going to bounce 100%. It just means that it's at the support. Therefore, once we start indicating a bounce, so I have my alerts if it goes below 210. But if it starts to bounce, then that can give us a better understanding that it's going to trend back up. AAOI. Bouncing. So we called out the support at $70. Now it's bouncing back up, so that's a good margin. SQ, bounce at 25.60, and it looks like it's starting to bounce right now. So that might actually be the one that I go for today. It makes sense to me, and it's something that I'm comfortable with. JDST is bouncing, which means Jnug that's the reason that it's dropping back down. So right now JDST is dropping, so it has the most margin to make up right now. Understand that it doesn't mean that it's going to continue to rise. If it has pullbacks or it's a fake bounce or just a small margin, just understand that most likely it won't bounce then. Dang, okay, huge pullback here to 210. This might actually be a good one for those that can catch it at the support. And if it starts to indicate signs of upward momentum again after earning reports, catch it at the bounce, let it identify support, let it start trending back up, and then sell back at the previous support. So that would be 240. I think meat is trying to go for the biggest loss of the year. I don't know. I'm a little salty on meat because I've been red on it for 2 days, and I want to trade it, and I want to make money off of this one specifically. But then again, I'm trading based on emotion when it comes to that. Look at GUSH Go. My buddy is happy. I'm going to go ahead and give him a call right now and tell him that he should most likely be trying to sell or set his limit order, start locking in profits. From his entry point, if I'm not mistaken, was like 1784, and he's up 4.41%. And he goes in pretty deep with his positions. So it looks like Gale, 40 cents is still a solid support. And then following with Save, it broke below $38. That's always nice to see. It looks like that was a previous support, so it looks like it's actually bouncing. So Save is bouncing. AMD is trending back up. Jnug, push right back through $17. So this might be one that's going to be showing good signs. Understand that it had a previous support at $18. So from 17 to 18, it has a realistic 5.62% for profit if it continues to trend upward. Rad with a pullback, it's at 233, previous support at $2. SQ just broke the support, so I'm going to be catching that one. I'm going to end it here, guys. I want to thank you guys again so much for watching. I do have one, consultation opening for today in the morning, and that's going to be from 9 to 9:30, so I have a 30-minute gap before I have to jump onto the other one. So for those that want to join, the link is going to be down below. If you guys have to or want to ask me any one-to-one questions, feel free to jump on that video chat call with me or let me know if you want to be a part of that. Thank you guys again for everything that is that you guys do. If you're not part of the Facebook group already, the link is down in the description. But most importantly, guys, just like when it comes down to trying to be successful in any market, be knowledgeable in what it is that you're investing in, always have a plan, and always manage your risk. I can't thank you guys enough for your time and for everything that is that you guys do. You guys are going to want to stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to be taking out the McLaren, the Z06, and we're going to have a surprise guest for where it is that we're going to be going. So if you guys like supercars and you guys like those edits that I do, then I think you will like tomorrow's video. So be sure to like this video if you guys found it helpful, but most importantly, continue working hard. Let your passion be expressed through all your hard work. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Peace. Just kidding. Someone said that they thought that was funny. So thank you guys again. Take care. Bye.